Hello, I'm Ejecta1. Welcome back to the Survival Let's Play series. If you're new around here, hi, hello, welcome. Welcome to the Survival series. I'm Ejecta1. Oh, whoops. And in today's video, we are going to start off with the Garden of Treden. And if you don't know, the Garden of Treden is my take on Stampy's Lovely Garden, except I do trees. And in this video, we are going to be adding Mario Batoto 534. I hope I'm saying that right. Please let me know if I am, or or correct me if I'm wrong. But the reason I'm adding them is because they asked a very good question, which was they asked me what the texture pack was in one of my last videos, or one of my previous videos. Which, if you haven't seen, you can go watch the other videos. I will leave a title card to the playlist for this series in the description so you can get caught up. But in one of the previous episodes, I had a little bit of a run-in where I had Alpha Vision. And in that video, I used a texture pack. And that texture pack, and I told him it was the Revival Alpha 2.1. So yeah, if anyone's interested, that is the texture pack for it. I did let him know what that was, but in case anyone else was curious, in case you guys want to download it and go play around with it. But yeah, so Mario Batoto, I'm just gonna call him Mario. I don't know how to say the rest of it. Mario 534. Welcome to the Garden of Treden, along with everyone else here. And he also suggested I use Optifine. I don't have any plans to use Optifine in my game. Like, I'm just gonna stick to vanilla. I'm just gonna stick to like the vanilla stuff. I mean, some people like using Optifine, but I tend to stick to this. Let me go out of render distance because the IRS is here again. But yeah, I mean, I have nothing against Optifine, and I guess maybe in the future I could switch over to it. But at this current point in time, I'm not too worried about doing Optifine. So. But I do appreciate the suggestion. Yeah. Let me get away from these guys, so hopefully they despawn, because they're right where I need to go. I don't know if they will. Because they are right in the way of today's video. And in today's video, now if you didn't see the last video, you can kind of see it in where I'm going. Now, if you didn't watch the last video, I briefly mentioned I was working on a train station for the Funland. And so since that episode, I have actually worked on it. Are these guys still here? No, or they might have moved on. Good. Tax evasion. And since then, I have actually worked on this train station. And this is what we have so far. It has definitely grown. It's gotten way bigger. And actually, I have a really good spot to get a good view of this from the eventual expansion of the Garden of Treden. Once we start getting more names in here. And I will be adding more names in here towards the end of the 50 episodes before the download. Yeah. But that's what it looks like. It's not fully done. I still got to put the windows in, but I'm actually smelting glass right now as we speak. But yeah. And I will leave a link to the reference image. I will try to leave a link to the reference image in the description of this video if you guys want to maybe build it yourself, or you guys are inspired. It's not a one-to-one build. It's not a perfect recreation. It's sort of my own take, and I put my own blocks on it. And I'm not gonna lie, it kind of looks like Neapolitan ice cream. But I like it. It definitely uses all four different types of blocks that we have access to right now. Well, actually, yeah, 4 different types of blocks. We have we have oak for the platform, and we have oak for the platform. We have spruce for the outlines, and then we have the cherry wood, which I really wanted to get in. I really want to integrate into this, and then we have birch for the roofs, and yeah, I just think it looks really nice. I think it really pulls everything together, and And in that reference image, there is a little bit of a drop. Or there's a in the image, if I can find it. Well, I can find it. I just have to share it. But you'll notice that in the image there is sort of a well, I should just tell you what it is in case I can't find it or in case you guys don't bother. But this is based off of the Nara Dreamland station. It was like it's sort of like I guess it was their take on like a Disney or their version of a Disney train station. So it looks a little like a little bit of Disney inspired thing. But yeah, I just thought that station looked really cool and the and the whole stone area on the one side that you can see from the image is actually I'm probably gonna do something like that over here since this is like a huge dip. But yeah. But we are going to be working a little bit. And I think we're actually going to work on that today. I probably will work on this off camera. Yeah, I'll probably continue work of this off camera. And yeah, if I can go to sleep. Yeah, like I said, still not done. We were just waiting for the glass. But, well, the glass and I still want to put some stuff on the roofs to really make it look like that station. And then I also added the stairs and slabs for a little bit of decoration, but I just think it looks really cool. There is no interior yet. There will be. Well, if you consider this interior, then there you go. But yeah, I think it works all right. But anyways, what we're going to be working on is I'm probably going to be building this into the platform, which I think that would be a good spot for. I think that would be a good thing to work on today. Because eventually this will go down. And I think it'll go up by 6. And then the way it's designed, that would give me a 4-block staircase downwards. Or actually, no. Yeah, we'll do the... Yeah, and this is sort of going to be floating a little bit, but I think it's alright. Yeah, hopefully you guys like that design or that idea. And I think because of the way this station looks, I think I will call it the Neapolitan station. I just think it'd be kind of a funny little thing, it's a Neapolitan style. I mean, if I had dark oak, it'd be closer to the chocolate, but I just think it's kind of an interesting. I think it's just an interesting take on it. But yeah. Let's see. And I do have a bunch of cobblestone, and if I run out, I can always get more. You guys might find it boring to just fill this whole thing up with cobblestone, but this is what I came up with for today. And, not everything needs to be a super interesting build. Well, I try to keep it interesting, but yeah. I mean, this is a necessary part of the build, so it does need to get done. And I also went ahead and plugged up the lava pit that was here. Ouch. Good thing there's no lava there anymore. And that was kind of why, because I didn't want to fall in here while I was working on this. It does mean that I do have to go find some other place for lava, but I do have lava source blocks, so I could just make a new one. So, because I have some in my smelting room. But yeah. So we're just gonna kind of mask off this hill that the station's sitting on. But I like it. I think it's really cool. It's definitely. I didn't want to copy it 1-to-1. I wanted to do my own take on it with the blocks I had on hand and the design. But yeah. Let me see. I want to get this whole flat area in. Just going to... And also, oh yeah, and also I did make a small announcement to tell people about the world download, and a lot of you seem really happy and excited the downloads. That's really awesome to hear, you guys. And I really can't wait to see what you guys do with this world. I can't wait to see what you come up with. Because maybe you guys have different ideas and you have different ways you go about this. But yeah, and I definitely encourage you guys to have your own takes on things, and maybe I'll take some of your guys' ideas, and be like, oh, that's a cool idea. Let me integrate it into this. And I did intend on getting more done for this episode. I was actually going to work on the entrance to this place, but that'll probably have to wait till next episode. Just because I was trying to work out all the stuff for this thing, just to get it to look nice. But yeah. But I do like how it's in close range of the starting area, and it's in range of the base. It's sort of in between, so you get a nice view of that way we get a nice view of both areas. And I will need to go get more cobblestone. Because in the design it has a couple of staircases that go from one spot, and it's sort of like it has a staircase that goes down this way and a staircase that goes down this way, and it meets in the middle. So I really want to have something similar to that. And even though it doesn't look Japanese, it definitely takes inspiration from Japan. It's basically, it's based on the Nara Dreamland type thing, and I thought it was kind of a cool thing. It's definitely better than trying to wing it and try to figure out a design. That is a piece of advice I can give as a content creator, or as a Minecraft builder in general. If you're looking to build something, like say a train station or house or anything, my suggestion is to look at real life examples, or one good thing I would say to look at, if you're gonna recreate something in Minecraft, is look at models. So so I would say okay, it's model railway models, right? It's because a lot of times they'll have stuff that's that looks pretty good, or it looks good enough where you can get a good shape out of it. So I guess the basic answer to that would be, what I'm trying to say is try to take example from real life buildings or real life things that are out there. And it's because you could try to build this blind, but it's going to be a lot harder to build it it's a lot harder to build something from memory. I mean, you probably can, but I would say just pull up a reference image. It makes life way easier. But yeah. And now I think we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think 4 is a good number. And then I will probably bring this whole thing up by 1. I just want to get the spacings in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's just fill this in. But yeah, so I would say I mean, you could take reference reference pictures from real life. That's what this is going for. But you could take things from one of the other projects that's gonna happen in this world after the download, probably well after the download, is and this is something I could suggest, which is I gotta get more cobblestone. But like I said, I would suggest probably I would say model railway models, in my opinion, are probably one of the great ways to get good ideas. And yeah. And and this is based off a real life thing, but I mean inspiration can come from anywhere, but that would be my advice is, I mean, you could try to wing it, but you're really going to struggle. It's going to be a lot harder to do that than to you're really going to struggle with trying to remember how things go or the way things go, and it's just much better to have a reference image or have some kind of idea. But my other piece of advice with that would be, don't just copy what you're seeing. Don't just copy that. You want to have some kind of variation or some kind of, just going to take a bunch of this. You want to have, because there's a difference between inspiration and taking inspiration and just straight up copying. Like, you never want to just straight up copy an idea. Like, the thing I'm designing, it's actually more like a red brick and gray kind of thing. It's completely different from this. And this is kind of sort of, I'm working with the blocks I have, but it's also, I'm adapting it to what I want to do. So, yeah, it's kind of putting some kind of spin on what's already there. You know, it's like, you know, if you gotta change the blocks up a little bit or add some kind of your own detail, you know, change it up so it's like something unique and something special. And then it becomes something that's truly yours. Like, yeah, you took inspiration from something, but you put your own little twist on it. But, yeah. And while I'm here, I might as well take my rightful sticks back. The stick of judgment. The stick of judgment says you should subscribe if you're not already. We're trying to get to 300 subscribers. So yeah, if you're not subscribed, so subscribe, and you know, if you don't, what are you doing, fool? What are you doing? Because I got a bone to pick with you if you don't subscribe. I'll use my pickaxe to pick a bone with you. Bad joke. Okay, moving on. Anyways, but yeah, that would be my advice. Is just to, come up with a like, I mean, there's nothing wrong with getting inspiration, but just don't copy. You know, like don't just straight up copy something. I don't copy. Yeah, this is like, you could say, oh, this is 1-to-1 block, but this is like, okay, the colors are changed. I'm adapting it to the Minecraft standard because, you know, obviously you can't get down to nitty-gritty details of Minecraft like that. Yeah. It's sort of like, you know, yeah, it's inspiration. You know, it takes inspiration, but it's sort of my own thing. So, yeah, I guess that's the building tip for today. Let's see. Ouch. Let's see, I can do right there. I think I'm going to do 4 at a time. Just because it's so long. Okay. I wonder if that would be enough. I think I'll go down by 1 more. Yeah, hopefully you guys find that information useful and helpful to your building stuff. You know, if you decide to build stuff. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 7 by 5. Okay. Yeah, like I said, you know, take inspiration, don't copy. That's kind of the MO with it. You know, like, so for example, like, my base is sort of a inspirational cross between, Stampy's base and actually Dallas Med's base. If you're familiar with his content, which if you're not, go subscribe to him because he's pretty cool. But yeah. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Maybe just close this off and you can fill it in. Yeah, and you know, that's another way you can get inspiration is to and I would say that's another way you can get inspiration is by taking 2 bases or 2 things and maybe combining some of the ideas from like 2 people that you see. You know, like, because the whole idea behind this series is to inspire you guys to, you know, build your own stuff. You know, I don't want you to just copy what I'm building. And, I mean, I'm flattered, but, you know, I want to inspire you guys to build your own stuff. You know, like, you know, try it yourself. I don't know. That's just my advice. That'd be my take on things. All right. Trying to get all the dimensions worked out for this. Okay, now we have that. Now we get to do this part, which I believe is... I'm just going to make it a mask. You know, mobs will spawn here. Trying to match it up with the stairs. You know, this will probably be worked on some more as well. Try and get this wall in here, and we are well past the 20-minute mark. That's perfectly fine. I know some of you guys like the longer videos. Yeah, I try not to make these videos too long, just because the videos don't perform. If they are longer or too long, they don't perform super well in the YouTube space. So, especially because I'm early game and because I'm early game with the YouTube, for me at least, I definitely want to play to the algorithm. Try to make it happy. And that would be, and I guess we can throw in some YouTube advice for the day, because I know some people that do YouTube on here. My advice, this comes from, I wouldn't say I have a background in marketing, but I have like a good foundational knowledge of it, enough to kind of speak on this. A little piece of advice from the marketing side of things that I know. I would say test. You know, test things that you know, like I would say the whole name of the game with YouTube is to test, because you can sit here and, you know, plan out things, or the issue I have is, like, and this is something I struggle with for a long time, so I can kind of speak on this. But when you're doing when you're looking at getting into something like, say, YouTube, and this doesn't just apply to YouTube, this is advice in general, I guess. But if you're going to do something like, say, YouTube, think about it. Like, what's the first thing that people do when they want to start a YouTube channel, or they want to start anything? Usually you go watch like a video on YouTube of someone doing it, right? And it's like, and I'm kind of shooting myself in the foot here by talking about this like this, but I think it's a good point to make. But if you plan to start a YouTube channel, my advice would be, don't really take the advice that you're gonna get with a grain of salt. And I know I'm kind of talking big here because I'm giving you guys advice, but because what might work for one person might not work for you. Not that they're trying to steer you wrong, but it's just whatever they're doing might not be what your channel needs to grow. So my advice would be to just test. Like, just test. Like, just start uploading. Like, don't like and also, because, you know, if you're watching videos about how to start a YouTube channel, and you're watching video after video after video, and it's like, you'll know the information, but you won't be able to apply the information that you're learning, so it won't mean anything, right? Or you'll go to try that thing and you'll wind up failing, and then you'll wonder why you failed, because it's like, well, so what I would do is, for example, I would just start uploading. And then you look at that video, right? Like, you look at the demographics, or the not demographics, but you look at the graphics and see how well the video performed, and based on that, you look at it like, okay, well, this video performed well, this video didn't perform well. Why is that? And then you try to figure out, okay, why did this not perform well? Why did this perform well? Why did this not perform well? And then you kind of play around with things. You know, try to figure out what works for you, what doesn't work for you. Because eventually you'll figure out something where it's like, oh, hey, you know, now I got some views, now I got some subscribers. Because you'll figure out, okay, what works, what doesn't work. And eventually you'll be like, oh well, because then it's like you'll kind of craft your own little like regiment or things that work for you, like your own formula. So that's just my advice for it. If you ever want to do YouTube, and that goes for anything, if you want to get into fitness or you want to get into exercise, like I would say don't start by watching someone who's talking about it. I mean, get some ideas about like, if you don't know how to do a push-up, go watch a video about how, someone talking about like what a push-up is, or Google it. But try to, but take it with a grain of salt of like, like I would say just start, just get started. Because even if you fail, if you mess up, you could be like, okay, well, where did I go wrong? Or what did I do right, what did I do wrong? And then you can go look at the videos of other people. Because also, the thing is that you'll be able to, because if you don't have a video or if you don't have like something going on, it's kind of harder to wrap your head around what that person's actually talking about. Like, you'll know what they're talking about, you know what they'll mean, but it'd be harder to kind of visualize or get an actual idea of what they're talking about. So, like, it's sort of like, you'll know what to apply, and you'll know what to not apply. So that would be my advice. I know I'm one to talk, I'm not that big of a YouTuber yet. I'm working on it. We're trying to get there. And, it's kind of, a YouTuber's trying to give you advice, and you might be thinking of starting it, but that would be my advice. That'd be the one advice that I have not heard one YouTuber talk about. And it kind of makes me sad because it's like, well, and I know they have good intentions, but, they're just trying to help, but the normal piece of advice I can give is that, like, just test. Test what works, like, and no one really talks about this in YouTube. Like, they'll talk about, you gotta have good titles, you gotta have good thumbnails, and that is true. All that stuff is, to an extent, that is true. However, I've heard like all the advice, and it can be paralyzing. If you're trying to get started and you see all this information, you're like, well, what works, what doesn't work, So I would just say test, right? It's like, it's one thing that a lot of people on YouTube don't really talk about, or I have not really heard anyone really mention. But test. Like, that is your number one asset in YouTube. If you're going to get started on YouTube, test. Like, for me, it's like, I'm like, with this channel, I'm constantly testing things. I'm trying to see what works, what doesn't work. I'm constantly trying to figure out, okay, well, this was successful. Why was this successful? Why was this not successful? So, and then it's like based on what was successful. And also because, if you have more than one video, it's easier to see what worked and what didn't work. And, you can kind of draw connections. You'll be able to connect the dots and figure out, okay, well, this is why this video performed well. This is why this video didn't perform well. Or you'll be like, okay, this is why these videos did well. This is why this didn't. So, I don't know. Again, that's my advice. And, I haven't heard a lot of YouTubers, a lot of people talk about it, but my advice for anybody who wants to YouTube or anything really, it's not just YouTube, it's really anything you want to do in general. Test, like, just test different things. Test, don't really listen to advice until you got a good footing. Until you start uploading, don't really start taking advice until you start uploading. Which I guess is advice in itself is. But yeah, just like start uploading, because then you'll be able to implement what they say a lot better into what you're trying to do. I don't know. Hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense to you guys. Yeah, hopefully that makes sense to you guys. I'm sorry if it was a little bit confusing. I am trying to build while I do this, but yeah, guys, that's what we got so far. It's kind of like that. But yeah, we are definitely over time, guys. I am sorry for keeping this long. But yeah, guys, I hope you liked this video, and I hope you found it a little bit entertaining and a little bit informative. Maybe you learned something today. And yeah. And I will finish this train station off camera, and I will show it in the next episode. But yeah, guys, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and if you're not having such a wonderful day, I hope I made it a little bit better by giving you a little bit of entertainment, a little bit of motivation. But yeah. Anyways, guys, until my next video, be sure to like and subscribe, because if you're not, what are you doing, you fool? Subscribe. You should subscribe. You should punch that subscribe button, like I'm punching this cobblestone. Subscribe. Why aren't you subscribed? Tell your friends, tell your family, tell everyone you know, tell your Uncle Joe. Subscribe. Anyways, guys, I hope you liked this video, and until my next video, guys, hope you have a wonderful day. And I keep saying it, but until my next video, guys, this is Eject1, and you have been ejected.